Thank you. Welcome back. Number to call in if you want to get involved is 302-395-9456, 302-395-9456. So you're listening to Larry Mendte, and that would mean this is the Larry Mendte Show on 1450 WILM, 1410 WDOV. A good friend of the show is here, and he's going to talk about Trinity Tactical in a little bit. But he brought up a topic that I had not thought of, and it's a great talk radio topic. It's a great political topic. It's a great topic for thought. And actually, I was even a little jealous, Carl, when you brought this up, that I didn't think of it first. Carl Pace is here. He is running for state Senate as a Republican in the 14th District. He's unopposed in the primary. The 14th Senatorial District, in case you're wondering if you're in his district, goes from Middletown up to Leipzig, right?
Yeah, Middletown down to Leipzig, yes,
down
sir.
To
So pretty big geographical area we got there.
All right. Even though I didn't know my geography, I'm glad you corrected me. So here's what's interesting. So there's this big budget battle now going on in Dover. Huge budget battle. They thought they were going to have more money than they have. They're about $10 million short, and they're trying to figure out where to make cuts. Some of the cuts that they're proposing are in education. Some of the cuts they're proposing are in law enforcement. And what you pointed out is there's another story that came out in the last couple of weeks that shows you where misplaced priorities are, that they are giving hormone replacement therapy to at least one prisoner, two prisoners.
They have two now, yes, sir.
I had only read about one, but so you're saying there are two prisoners that they're giving hormone replacement therapy for because they're transgender, and now because of the political mood of our country and the political mood of the state, that is now covered under medical, and they're giving money to that. How much money are we talking about?
The Delaware Online article that came out highlighted one individual that's a transgender that's making the transition from female to male. During that, they quoted a price, and this individual specifically is on a 55-year sentence. So by the time this individual is done, we've paid out close to $73,000 in taxpayer money to assist somebody who's an incarcerated inmate in transitioning from female to male. So there's $73,000 for one individual sentenced inmate. In addition to the $73,000 that we know about over the life of the incarceration, there's a lot of additional medical concerns that come along as far as blood clots, other medical conditions that could arise that obviously are additionally going to be a burden to the taxpayer. It's a huge concern to me that we're focused on putting money to hormone injections to individuals, incarcerated individuals, paying for name changes on the state taxpayer dime, while in the same week we're looking to cut funding to law enforcement, we're looking to cut funding to schools. To me, it just really shows a misalignment of priorities.
There's so many things wrong about it. I mean, this person, 55 years, first of all, 55 years, is this murder?
There's some armed robbery charges and some assault charges in there, if I recall correctly, but no, it was not murder.
So, but the violent offender that's been put away for a long time because she was deemed not able to live in society, and now this person is saying that they want special treatment. They want special treatment, and that we're supposed to pay for that. And this is treatment that she wouldn't be able to afford otherwise.
And here's what's even more concerning is it's not special treatment anymore. So any incarcerated prisoner that decides they want to make the transition from John to Jane has that opportunity to do that on the taxpayer dime.
Now, it is special treatment because now if I wanted to suddenly become a woman, I would have to go to prison to get that paid for.
It is extremely expensive.
So it is special treatment. And so and I just playing this out. So if somebody desperately wants to change sexes, well, you can't change sexes. Desperately wants to go through this
transgender process.
Yes. Thank you for that. You go to prison, you get it paid for.
Well, and it started with our legislation right here in Delaware introducing a bill, and it was House Bill 115, which opens up the window of opportunity that if you are going to prison and you're Joe Smith and you make the decision you want to be Jane Smith, that the taxpayers will pick up the cost to change your name from Joe to Jane. And that opens up the window of opportunity where it flourished into the hormone injections and the other things that come along with that. But yeah, it's an option.
Yeah, you're big biggest outrage is not the fact that this person is changing sexes.
Not at all.
You could give a damn about that. What you're saying is we could use that money for something else, especially at a time when we're so desperate for money. This is misplaced priorities, and it's political correctness going amok.
If somebody's interested in being transgender, obviously it's not my family values, it's not my morals. But, if that's something they want to do on their own time, their own money, have a great time with it. But it's not something that the taxpayer should be taking care of. There's also additional
You
things.
really want them to have a great time with it?
There's also
Is that your position?
No. There's also things people are not thinking of. We have a female in Baylor Correctional Institute that we are in the process of transferring her from a female to a male. At what point is it no longer safe to have her housed with females? And where is the transition period? Because it's not going to be safe for her to be housed with males. There's going to be an opportunity where there's going to need to be segregation. There's a lot of additional funds that come along with this that people are not thinking about from the outside, in addition to the wasted resources right up front.
Do you have a problem with a transgender person using a restroom that is not their birth restroom?
I have a 3-year-old daughter, and I would have great concerns with going in the bathroom or my wife being in the bathroom with my 3-year-old daughter and seeing someone of opposite sex in that bathroom because they identify that way.
You know what's really interesting about this? I just talked to someone who is on the DNC who is transgender. And it's a guy that dresses up like a girl and says he's a woman. And you have to call him Barbara. And so he was talking about this, and he said that he's been using the ladies' room for years, for like 20 years, and he's never been stopped, ever. So this is a proposal, this is legislation without a problem.
This has been going on for years. It's not new. And until somebody draws attention to an issue, people don't see it. And this is one of the reasons that I wanted to draw attention to this House Bill 115, because we're sliding things past the taxpayers and they're not realizing what's going on. This has been happening for years and there's not been issues. And to be completely honest with you, I don't think that it's the legitimate transgender males, females that are going to be the problems. It's going to be the stalkers, the other individuals that are going to mask themselves
Who say, today I'm identifying as a woman, so I get to follow that little girl into that room.
I don't see the transgenders being an issue because, just like you just said, they've been using those bathrooms for years. It's going to be the people now that it's in the limelight that are going to use this as a mask to be able to try to utilize the wrong restroom for the inappropriate reasons.
All right. So we'll talk more about this a little bit later in the program. But what we want to do when we come around is talk.